Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the science fiction thriller film, Red Planet. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. Earth is experiencing an ecological crisis in 2057 as a result of pollution and population growth. Automated interplanetary flights seeded Mars with atmosphere producing algae as part of the initial step of terraforming. Quinn Burchinal, Bud Chantilas, Robbie Gallagher, Kate Bowman, pilot Ted Santon, and Chip Pettingill are the members of the Mars One crew, and they are sent to investigate when the oxygen supplied by the algae inexplicably diminishes. Mars One suffers damage right away from a gamma-ray explosion. While the others land in search of an automated habitat, HAB-1, to create food and oxygen, Bowman stays on board for repairs. During re-entry, the team's landing craft sustains damage and lands in the incorrect location. The military robot Amy, which was meant to be their guide, gets lost as a result, and Chantilas suffers a serious injury, forcing the others to abandon him. Santon declines, but Chantilas explains that they only have a little amount of oxygen left to make it to HAB-1, so the crew leaves so that Chantilas can die peacefully. Houston and Bowman converse while in orbit over Mars. Houston informs her that although Mars One is in a decreasing orbit, there is still a chance that the engines will be repaired in time for them to depart from Mars. Despite the fact that HAB-1 was built and field-tested in Tornado Alley to endure any storms on Mars, the landing party finds the module wrecked there. After separating from the group to go exploring, Pettingill and Santon finally come to a canyon where they fight about whether or not the mission was successful. After accidentally killing Santon, Pettingill tells Burchinal and Gallagher that Santon committed suicide. Although Gallagher would rather die than suffocate, he opens his helmet and finds that Mars' atmosphere is weak but breathable. The habitat's liquid fuel, which has ruptured and pooled beneath the crash, is the only component that may be salvaged. The astronauts use a flare to set it on fire so they can have a campfire to stay warm during the extreme temperature drop of the Martian night because they have no more power in their suits. The three astronauts attempt to shut down the robot in order to recover its guiding device when Amy rejoins the crew and they observe that it is damaged. Amy perceives the others' acts as a threat and chases the others after wounding Burchinal. The others are informed by Gallagher that she has switched to military mode and intends to execute them one by one. Due to her training in the traditional guerrilla tactic that a wounded opponent slows them down, she chose to injure Burchinal rather than kill him. Bowman instructs them to utilize a Russian probe sample return system to send themselves into orbit through a makeshift radio that Gallagher constructs from parts of the Mars rover Pathfinder. Bowman informs Gallagher that the probe can only hold 2 people. The group hides inside a cave to escape an ice storm. Devastated by the recent news and scared of being left behind, Pettingill runs with the radio only to be killed by Amy. After the storm has passed, Gallagher and Burchinal find Pettingill's radio in his body and learn that it has gotten contaminated with native Martian life that resembles insects, what Burchinal refers to as nematodes. The explosion that resulted when Pettingill's corpse was cut loose from his hold using a basic cutting torch is proof that the insects are extremely combustible. Later, when the two encounter an algae field being consumed by insects, Burchinal discovers what transpired. The Martian insects had been asleep on their nearly extinct planet, but when Earth's explorers spread algae fields across Mars, it gave them a vastly increased food source, leading to a population explosion. The Martian insects killed the algae, but because they also make oxygen as a waste product, which explains why they are so combustible, they also gave Mars breathable air in the process. The habitat module was also destroyed by the insects, who ripped it apart to get to the food supply inside. Gallagher is informed by Burchinal that the biochemistry of the respiratory metabolism of alien insects can produce oxygen much more effectively than human research. The secret to terraforming Mars is to study the biochemistry of insects. This research may even produce findings that help to restore Earth's damaged atmosphere. However, when blood pours from an open cut, Burchinal is attacked by swarms of the insects. He hands Gallagher his sample bottle of insects so that he won't be devoured alive before setting himself and his assailants on fire. When Gallagher gets to the Russian probe, he finds that there is enough fuel to run the rocket's engine but not enough electricity to launch the probe. As a result, he learns that the sole replacement part is the power core from Amy. In a final showdown, Gallagher is able to draw Amy into a trap, cripple her using one of the probe's sample launchers, and steal her batteries. Bowman rescues and revives Gallagher after he launches himself into orbit in the sample return capsule of the mission. The computer has plenty of time to investigate the insects with a 6-month return journey to Earth, and Bowman and Gallagher have ample time to start dating. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.